home building and remodeling show. Let's go. Welcome everybody to the home building and remodeling show. My name is Chris Kirby and I'll be your host. I am the owner of 3 construction companies on the Alabama Gulf Coast. The show is about residential construction. We're going to cover topics of home building and remodeling. Are you thinking of doing a remodel or building a home? Are you a contractor looking to improve your knowledge base or grow your business? Have you ever done a remodel project or built a home? There were so many things you wish you knew or that you could have done differently during the process. Then this show is for you. We break down the process of building and remodeling and how to have the best results during your project. Whether you're a DIYer looking for tips, someone looking to hire a contractor to do a project, or a contractor looking to expand your knowledge base or your business. Welcome aboard. Glad to have you. Stay tuned. We kick off the show with my thoughts on home building and remodeling. I'll share best practices and talk about some of our experiences in business and out in the field. These shared thoughts and lessons learned are meant to help you on your very own journey. Let's go. We do a lot of the legwork for our clients during pre-construction because we want to make sure that we're helping them. We're hand walking them through the process. And for us, it creates value and it establishes that relationship. People do not understand what it takes to get to being able to build and what's involved. And that will deter somebody from purchasing land, moving forward with a deal, because there's so many steps that are involved and there's a lot that they don't know. And so if they've never built before, for us, we found it that they're more likely to use us because we do have a pre-construction coordinator in place that will help them walk through our pre-construction checklist and make sure that they understand, at least if we don't do necessarily all of the paperwork, a lot of it has to be done in their name. But what we can do is make sure we know, Joe or Johnny or Jenny at the planning and zoning department to connect them to that direct person, not that they're just calling and getting some answer machine. And now we move into Shop Talk. It's the portion of the show where I bring in a co-host and we cover trending topics in home building and remodeling. Hope you enjoy. Let's go. And one of the things that you constantly hear is whether it's a custom home or a barn dominium, barn style home, what is a cost per square foot? And it's a little frustrating for a custom home builder to be put in a box when discussing a cost per square foot, because there are so many variables with that. And I want to move into the conversation about the cost per square foot. I know, I've just turned over estimating and Pete is now estimating and you've done a lot of estimating in your career. One of the things we often get asked is what is a cost per square foot on a house? And a lot of the times, really, it bothers me a little bit because we're boxed into a cost per square foot that they're going online, maybe on a Zillow or one of those types of real estate pages, and they see a new construction from a company, a larger production company. I won't say any names. Yeah. And they're trying to get a house, a custom home for that production cost per square foot. Yeah. And it's just not feasible. And why would you say, like, the biggest reason it's hard to tell somebody just a straight up cost per square foot as a custom builder?
One of the main things is a production home. It's over and over. It's repetition. Everything's the same. Custom home is not. Your allowances is one of the biggest things there is your allowances.
Yeah.
There's so much in between that you can get.
Yeah.
I mean, you can buy a $5 light fixture or you can buy a $5,000 light fixture.
Right. And that's what I try to explain to people. So what is the best way for us to, because a lot of times when they're shopping for a custom home builder, they're trying to work with a bank and say, well, let's talk about how much I can get approved for. So they really do need some sort of a reference, a frame of reference to be able to know how much they can get approved for and how much it's going to cost to build. So without boxing yourself in as the contractor or as the custom home builder, what do you think is a good way to give somebody a rough estimate on a cost to build a home?
Well, something we've put into place recently is the good, better, best system.
Yeah.
That and square footage.
Yeah.
Under roof square footage.
Yeah.
Garage, I want a porch, I want everything included.
I wanted you to clarify. I'm glad you said that, because that's the second part to that conversation about cost per square foot. A lot of times they look and they say, well, this is keep it simple, 1,000 square foot home. Yeah. But they've got another 500 square foot for garage, and they've got another 500 square foot in porches. Yeah. So in fact, they've got 2,000 square foot under roof. But they only look at the 1,000 square foot of living space, and they want to look and say, well, what's your cost per square foot on the living space? Well, some of the biggest determining factors is how large your foundation is, how much roof you have, right? So those things all have to be accounted for when you're looking at the total cost, because you're looking at a number under roof, and that's what we always say, what's the total under roof? Because if you do add a ton of porch space, a ton of empty space, garages, even though porches and garages tend to be a little bit cheaper for us to build, however, we still have to frame it, and our framers and our foundation subs, they're looking at the under roof, they're looking at the slab total. So when they're bidding, they're not bidding on just your 1,000 square foot heated and cooled space. They're bidding on the total build. And so people get carried away with adding all this extra, unheated floor space and in garages, and they want these extra large garages. But that still costs money. And what it does is it drives up that cost per square foot on the heated and cooled space. And people have a hard time understanding why that happens. And it's because some of your larger numbers are in your foundation and roof.
It is.
Yeah. And so when we're looking at doing a custom build, and we look at the entire scope of work, the entire floor plan. And so what could somebody who's wanting a custom home built for them, what could they do what are some of the ways? We have the good, better, best. And what that means is they're choosing, I don't know, we have maybe 30 allowances that we give our clients, and they're choosing good, which means, a builder's basic type of fixture or appliance or package. And then you have better, which is a little bit upgraded, and then best would, be a higher, and those are all categories and dollar amounts. And we allow them to tick mark, windows, doors, flooring, different things where they want to be good, better, best. Because what happens is they realize they care about some spaces more than others, right? So they really want a nice kitchen. They want a nice master bathroom or something. But some of the other areas, they're not necessarily concerned with. So this allows them the flexibility to say, I want best on the master bathroom, but the guest bathroom just needs to be good, right? And that's kind of why we did that the way we did. But it also gives us some form of reference when we're doing our estimates. They're actually picking out their numbers. And so what would you say would be maybe some ways that a client could potentially save money when they're building a house? I know we're working with somebody right now, just, looking at where we could cut costs and stuff for the cost of the build. What do you think one of the biggest ways somebody could save money in building a home is, a custom home specifically?
The main thing is look at your overall square footage.
Yeah.
What can you live without?
Yeah. And when you say that, what do you mean?
Porches, garages.
Yeah.
Carports.
Yeah.
The slab for a carport. Can you live with asphalt millings or stone for your driveway? Driveway costs money.
Yeah.
So all of that factors in, even though your cost is square footage on the roof, but I have to figure that carport. I have to figure that slab for the driveway. So all of that costs money. landscaping. How big do you want your landscaping package?
Yeah.
Do you just want some grass with a couple of bushes, or do you want to go all out?
Right.
That's one place to look hard and saving money. And then the allowances is always going to be a really good place to save money.
Yeah. And that's where you really have to, if you've got it, you got it. You can pick what you want. It's not a big deal. But if you're looking at the overall budget, the allowance is the good, better, best system, and making sure that your expectations are real there. Because what ends up happen is if you're not paying cash for a custom home, then you're going to use a bank, and the bank is going to look at local comps, and they're going to make sure that the house that we're building appraises for, it's fair. It's a fair market. So if all the houses in the area are at $200 a square foot, and you're wanting to build one that's $250 a square foot, the bank is not going to approve it. You're going to have to bring cash to the table for that. Again, if you've got cash to bring to the table, you may not care because you truly want a custom home, custom features. And so they still look at, the bank is still they're going to give you a little bit of credit for some custom features in your house, but it's not going to make a huge difference when they're looking at the entire neighborhood and comping that home. I think that's really all we got for today. I appreciate you guys tuning in, and you'll be hearing more from Mark. This is his first one, but you'll be hearing more from him, more from Adam, and I hope you guys enjoyed our segment. Thanks for joining us today. As always, we are grateful for our listeners and your continued support. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on social media via Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Get more info at our website, www.thehomebuildingshow.com. And as always, remember who we are, the Home Building and Remodeling Show.